Hey, welcome to the World Warriors of Capcom Cup Player Showcase. I'm Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. This is the series of videos where we take all 32 qualifiers for the Capcom Cup and talk about each one of these players and analyze them. This is, again, for the Capcom Cup, which is going to take place at the PlayStation Experience, December 5th through 6th. And in case you aren't familiar with the Capcom Pro Tour or the Capcom Cup, and you're wondering, and you want to know all these more details about it, check this YouTube channel, youtube.com/Capcom Fighters, and Capcom Fighters TV, and look for the intro video that we recorded, and it'll tell you all about Capcom Pro Tour.
But if you've already done that, you want to just hear about the player we're going to talk about today, that player is Tokido.
AKA the murder face.
That's right, the murder face. We'll see a video of him later. If you're not familiar with that term, you will figure out why pretty quickly.
It's one of those awesome self-given nicknames, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
but you know what? I'm going to give myself a nickname, the murder face.
Tokido, though, is, I think, and it's, it's pretty well thought, that he is one of the greatest fighting game players of all time. Just overall. The amount of games that he has been a top player in over the past 15 plus years at this point, is just remarkable. I mean, he has made a ton of finishes at EVO and at other tournaments in many different games, different subgenres, not even just 2D fighting games. I mean, he's all over the place in fighters. So, extremely accomplished player.
I still remember there was one EVO where I ran into Tokido like late on Sunday, and he came up to me, and he had like 5 medals hanging from his neck. He was like, "Hey," I was like, he's like jangling wherever he's going and stuff. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have talked about this. Who was the greatest overall fighting game player of all time? Tokido's always in that conversation.
Yeah.
Like, he can't not be in that conversation. In fact, some people even say that he could be number one.
Yeah.
Greatest all-time fighting game player. So, yeah.
And in Street Fighter 4, he has kept that up ever since the start of it, where with his character Akuma, he was one of the main developers of that character, really, and of the sort of vortex, as we have come to know it, that is to say, Akuma's mix-up options. He was one of the developers of that.
Yeah, in fact, we were told by one of the Japanese players, I can't remember which one, but apparently in Japan, so we call it the vortex here, and Akuma kind of popularized that term, the vortex. It's the Akuma vortex. Now, every character has a vortex, but in Japan, it's literally called the Tokido Shiki, because it's just named after him.
There you go.
Because he made it up, and he's the one who popularized all the different techniques with that character.
So he's done well at EVO in Street Fighter 4 and a ton of different other tournaments. He's been sponsored by Mad Catz. He was one of the first players to have been sponsored seriously in fighting games. And in Ultra Street Fighter 4, Akuma is a little bit different, so he's had to redesign some parts of his game, but still very effective. Yeah,
that vortex is not as effective, but interestingly enough, so Tokido's he's a scientist. He likes to come up with a lot of setups and such like that. He's actually had to develop a lot more of the fundamentals ground game thanks to the fact that the vortex isn't as effective in Ultra Street Fighter 4. But he's made that transition beautifully.
Yeah, traditionally, when I think of Tokido, I think of Vega wall dive loops in Super Turbo. It's just some repetitive cheap stuff.
Right.
I think of unblockables in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
Right.
It's pretty cheap stuff. I have always thought of him as a player who loves the cheap stuff.
Oh.
And is really good at identifying what the cheap stuff is and just going to it.
His nickname, so he gave himself the nickname the Iceman one tournament, and then he finally went to Murderface.
Okay.
Before that, he was just Dirty Tokido. That's what everyone called him. He was Dirty Tokido.
Cheap.
Yeah. I remember there was one tournament where we were playing arcade edition of Street Fighter 2. He went straight to CE Bison. If you guys don't know, probably the most dominant character in any Street Fighter game ever. And he would call himself Dirty. He's proud of it, and it's awesome.
It is. But you're right. In Ultra Street Fighter 4, he has had to tone that down a little bit just because that's how Akuma is in this game. Still a very good character, but no longer has such an oppressive mix-up vortex system as he did before. So, Tokido's game is more about sort of traditional play. Footsies, knowing when to jump, knowing which angles to cut off, all that sort of stuff. And he's very good at it. He's very good at it.
And as you're going to see in the match that we're going to watch, Akuma's also one of those characters that's very reactive, because based on how the opponent gets hit and the distance, there's a lot of different ways for Akuma to convert combos properly, especially with the FADC options that he has now, and just the ability to juggle in all sorts of interesting situations. And because Tokido is such a scientist, in fact, there's stories of him practicing like Honda roll cancel 360 in CBS2 for like a whole day. Like literally woke up, just did it until night, and he went to sleep. I mean, this is the kind of guy that he is. And you can see that in the way he plays Akuma, because every situation he runs into, he seems to have the right response for it.
Yeah. So in Ultra Street Fighter 4, here are his accomplishments so far. So, and this is mostly just this year, in fact. South by Southwest Invitational, he got 4th. Red Bull Kumite, he got 2nd. Hype Spotting, 4. He got 2nd. Double Elimination CPT Asia Qualifier, this was last year. 5th. I'm sorry, this is this year. KVO X TSB, 3rd. Stunfest, 4th. FFM Rumble, 4th. Southeast Asia, 2nd. CEO, 9th. EVO, 5th. Sino Duel, 3rd. CPT Asia Shanghai Qualifier, 3rd. So there's a lot of success in there.
Yeah.
And I love it because he has been traveling around a bunch, and when Ultra came out, he talked about how he needed to redesign his character, and he's done it.
Yeah, and even at EVO before, he got 2nd place one year at EVO, right? That was the year that Infiltration won, I think. Or did he get 3rd? I know he's like top 3. Yeah. He's gotten top 3 at EVO, and he's made it into top 8 numerous times. So, yeah, again, Tokido, the other cool thing about him, and this is just personal anecdote kind of thing, is that he's been coming to America pretty much longer than any of the Japanese players.
Yeah.
He was out here, I think, for B5. So B5 is the precursor to EVO 2002, when finally it got the EVO name.
It was called EVO.
Yeah, and in EVO 2002, he won CVS 2. And he's been coming every year. I see him every year. And, he's such a funny guy. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Definitely one of my favorite Japanese players because I've known him for so long, you know what I mean? And so I love watching him play. And obviously he likes the showboat and stuff like that that a lot of players from Japan don't do necessarily, but he's had the Tokido pose. He's had 2 Tokido poses, by the way. So, but he's just a really, really fun player. So I'm really happy to see him here in Capcom Cup.
Totally agree. Well, speaking of watching him play, do you want to hop into the match?
Let's do it.
This was losers final against Shanghai, because winner of this, got into grand finals and so was guaranteed a spot once they got there.
The tournament was eventually won by Mago, who has already qualified. So Tokido makes it in from that.
Right.
But here he is going up against Shanghai, very strong player from China, one of the strongest players, if not the strongest player from that country. But you're going to see here right now that the way that Tokido plays Akuma, it's just such... You can see how he understands everything about the character. Like he has one of the best connections with the character, I feel like, that a lot of players have.
I mean, you can already see that crouching medium kick was at just about max range, and he went for the right combo with that range. We'll see that a lot, how he goes for the right option at the right range.
Yeah, that one should have been the right range, but beautiful. He saw the focus attack. He knew that Shanghai was kind of stuck in that situation. So he threw out that EX Air Fireball. That's important because you're going to see that situation come up a couple of times.
Yeah.
And he's taken advantage of it already once. And so you're going to see how he takes advantage of it again later on.
So time was that as Akuma against Ashoto, you pretty much played patiently. And you looked for the sweep and you started things off. But he can't really do that quite as well anymore. So you see him being a lot more active, a lot more fireballs. You see him jumping a lot more, sort of stabbing in with roundhouse now and then. It's a much more traditional sort of game.
Look at that. Full punish. Maximum damage probably at that range. Just had to make sure low forward into Hurricane was probably the best thing to do at that range. But again, see, very, very... much stronger footsies than he used to play back when the Vortex was that much more effective.
Ooh, that is a miss. That was a combo drop. And as you can see, he pays for it. But I think that's just about the only one in this set.
Yeah,
See him on the left there.
Yeah. Again, like I said, hours of practice on execution. This guy is an execution monster, a lab monster. He goes to training mode and he practices a lot of things, and that's why he came up with all those setups.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember in Vanilla when it first started becoming popular, the Akuma Vortex, I didn't understand it at first. Like, I didn't know what it was, but as time went on and you start understanding why it works so well, it's just because you have so many options and they all lead to the same setup
Right.
again.
They all go back to the same spot again.
Mm-hmm. Good reaction with that uppercut.
Pretty patient on defense there. And good range there. Knowing he was outside of that focus.
Yeah.
So still this very cautious corner pressure. Yeah, exactly.
Right there. It's the exact same situation, but this time he knew Xiaohai was going to backdash, and he knew that if the fireball hit him out of the air, he got the free juggle. You saw him kind of wait to confirm that he got hit by the fireball. Exactly. As soon as he did, boom, he catches the uppercut. So, again, just knowing your character well enough to have the right answer at all the right times.
Nice.
Yeah. So
you can see how excited Xiaohai is on the right there. But yeah, that's Tokido on the left. You can see where the murder face comes from, right? Exactly. There's the expression right there.
But you know what my favorite thing is his hands. You see how he was just kind of like, his hands were like flickering, like he was still trying to like do stuff, it's just, but that stare, man, that stare is so intense.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so both of these players have a lot on the line. So Mago's is waiting in winners finals. Whoever wins this match, this is basically the grand finals of the tournament.
Yeah, to get into
Capcom Cup, yeah.
So just a little bit earlier, you saw the max range that he got in that stand roundhouse combo. That was so good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so, I mean, most Akumas know that, low short after stand roundhouse is a lot harder to hit. It's a tighter link than low jab, but it reaches further. So he recognizes the exact ranges where he needs to throw out that low short instead of the low jab. And so that way he makes sure he can maximize the damage of the combo. But again, you saw him, he was ready for that air fireball to hit as a juggle, so he got the uppercut there. Now just gets out of the corner, and look at that, very aggressive.
Well, it was good because he could have done that at any moment, but he found the exact right one to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He even got a counter hit as he landed.
Yeah, now he has Xiaohai stuck in the corner.
And I really like the corner control too because it's not the sort of vortex heavy corner control. It's just controlling space.
Right. Right.
We saw it on the left as well. Oh, look at this.
Just a little too far.
Outside,
yeah.
But everything before that was pretty nice.
Oh, wow. Xiaohai with an opportunity there, but a drop.
Oh, this is so sick. This is so sick. Oh my god.
All
the way.
The whole conversion, perfect conversion on that. And he still had more coming. That uppercut was going to come out at the end, an EX uppercut. And look at him. I don't know why, but I just feel like in his brain he wants to smile so hard right now. He's just like, that was sick. But like he's just trying to look as serious as possible.
Yep, I think you're right.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a clutch round win and perfect example of his execution and knowing his character. Not only did he get that low short at the right ranges, but, he also has the EX FADC, the Fireball FADCs to maximize the damage based on whatever resource and distance that he is. Just on the fly.
Yeah, he's been in those situations before.
Yeah, but you see how, like, the footsies, he's... There's a reason why Xiaohai is in the corner so often, and it's really a lot of it because Tokido just walks him there a bunch of times. Like that, getting him into the corner in this particular round was because he just kept walking forward at him.
That was so good, the demon flip and then just land, right? Just waited. I mean, he landed with crouching jab earlier and so got a counter hit.
Right.
This time, Evil Ryu tried for Dragon Punch, which was a smart bet, but good read by Tokido.
Yeah. Oof. Okay, just missed it a little bit there. Yeah, and Akuma, of course, still I think has one of the best sweeps in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And here we go again, same thing, just knows the distance. And if any of you are wondering why he doesn't finish with the fierce uppercut in the corner, that does more damage, but the jab one affords him more frame advantage and setups, and there it again, maxed out combo.
So in order to do that, you have to cancel into the teleport, and then from the teleport into the Ultra. Very fast.
Yes.
Very quickly. And it's not easy, but he makes it look like it's just the simplest thing. And you can see on his stick, there's no extra things going on that stick. Right? There's no extra buttons as he, for a while, had. He stopped, and he's just that consistent.
Yep. And look at Xiao Hai. This guy, I mean, this is what happens. I mean, he won the first game, and yet he's sitting here right now. He's not feeling good about himself. Right. And meanwhile, look at Tokido. It's just all these hand exercises, drinking water. He's focused.
Right.
He's really, really focused. Xiao Hai even comes over here to character select to think about it a little bit. Eventually, I think he sticks with Evil Ryu.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But he has to think about the things that Tokido's been doing. You know, the way that Tokido has dealt with focus from Evil Ryu, I think, has been really good. He's had cancels into Hurricane. He's had those air EX fireballs on reaction to it. He's been able to outspace it a lot. And, in part because of that, but the other things as well, Tokido's just been walking him back.
Yeah.
Walking him back.
And I want you to notice that in the background, you see Daigo, Momochi, Fudo, Ida-san, like all these guys are sitting here. They're all out.
Oh, yeah. This was a stacked event.
And so the fact that these guys are here is really, really impressive stuff.
Yeah, this was one of the strongest player pools of the year, I think.
So here we go. But you see, walking forward. He's just walking forward. Walk forward, block. Walk forward, block. Sure, Xiao Hai comes out on top in this situation, but then he backed off with the teleport, baited Xiao Hai into coming forward, and then immediately goes over him again. So a lot of his game really is predicated on getting Ryu into the corner and getting Xiao Hai into the corner.
Well, he's been able to do that. Oof. Yeah, here's a nice little setup. We'll see a few different variations.
Yeah, so here we go.
Right.
Again, this time he didn't land on it, but he had the overhead ready to go. That's the third option that we've seen him go with, and he's responded differently in every single one of those situations. Again, that sweep is so good. Ooh, an execution error maybe by Xiao Hai.
I love the escape.
Out of here.
Yeah, just go.
Ooh.
To be fair, that was pretty sick. And,
Yeah.
and Xiao Hai with a little fist pump, he knows it.
Yeah. But that's, again, like I said, going from look of anguish, character select to that kind of fist pump, that's one of those kind of body languages that I think Tokido can read as, I can take him down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're desperate.
Yeah, you shouldn't be that happy that you won. You know what I mean? Kind of situation. So, but yeah, see, great start here. Guess where Xiao Hai is? In the corner.
And it's very similar corner control. He puts himself into the corner, right? He doesn't mind risking that because all of his options put him right back into that same spot.
Yep. Oof. Yeah, every time he hits him with that empty jump, low short, he knows that the EX Hurricane is just going to suck him right back into the corner.
Right.
So even though the Vortex is not as blatantly Vortex as it has been in the past, everything that he does leads to the optimal option, and that's how Tokido plays.
Oh. Yeah, even there where he didn't get the combo, right? What a good recovery to at least get something out of it.
Yep. And there you see, he waits until Akuma, he walked under till Akuma turned around to get the low fierce to trade with that jump in. Just will not give Xiao Hai any frame advantage at all. Oof. Yeah. Here it comes.
Yep.
Oh, again, a little too far for that low short to connect. Not that time.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just a little stretch.
Yep.
So that means that Tokido qualified for Capcom Cup. He didn't have to play Mago.
Bonchan sitting back there,
Very strong player pool.
Yeah.
That was for sure. But Tokido was the one who qualified out of that event. And I think it's very fitting that he's in Capcom Cup. I mean, he should be. He has had the success throughout Street Fighter 4 and in Ultra Street Fighter 4 that sort of means that he should be there.
Absolutely. So, I mean, now that he's there, though, I mean, what can you see that might get in his way? What do you think could be a problem for him to win this tournament?
Well, I think Akuma's very good. But I also am a little bit worried for him in using one character.
Okay.
Almost everybody else has picked up a counter character for at least a couple of matchups.
Right.
Right? Very common nowadays to see players having 2 options up to, whatever Infiltration has, 10. Something crazy.
Right,
but almost everybody has more than 1.
Okay.
And while I think Akuma is good and doesn't suffer in that many matchups, there are some that I think are potential problems for him. So if he ends up running into those matchups, those players, then I think that could be an issue. But that's about it. I think other than that, he's in a great position.
Yeah,
You don't know, huh?
I'm trying to look. The closest thing I can say is this. All right. I mean, this is totally probably not even this is one of those totally backhanded it sounds like it's a problem, but it's actually a good thing. So we talked about how prolific he is at fighting games, right?
Yeah.
And how many fighting games he plays, right? He's taken Ultra Street Fighter 4 very seriously. In fact, he dropped every other game that he's played.
Yeah.
So he only plays Street Fighter 4 now because he really wants to win this game. So he's put all of his focus in there. That could be a problem, maybe, because I know. This is what I mean.
I didn't mean to make that face.
Yeah, no, trust me, I'd make it too. Because the thing about it is, playing multiple fighting games, you do learn different skills. You do learn different techniques, right? And so in some games, you're going to have better reactions. In other games, it's going to teach you really good footsies. It's different. And, that's one of those recommended things, even to get good at one fighting game. It's nice to dabble in some other fighting games. That is seriously the weakest thing I can come up with, to be honest with you. But I mean, I literally said he's putting all his time in this game. Maybe that's bad. That's
look at him next time. What do you think it'll take for him to win?
I just think that so I talked about how Akuma has all these conversions and how he has the ability to, he's I don't want to call him a reaction character, but just a lot of situations he has the optimal result. And you see right there how good Tokido is at that. Mm-hmm. He was able to turn everything that, I hit you with a low forward, but at this range, I'll do Hurricane. And I have a setup after that Hurricane. Oh, I hit you with the air fireball of the air. I'm going to hit you with the uppercut. Now I have a setup for this situation. He has all those situations pretty much down, right? If he can stay hot and if he can have all of those conversions down and play that game with Akuma, that is what he's going to need to win. Because like you said, he doesn't necessarily have a second character. He's pulled out some other characters, not sure if they were even serious or not, but he is 99% Akuma. And if he is going to win this event, he has to have that mind meld with Akuma. He has to be on point with that character and land all of those conversions, convert every one of those stray hits and such like that. If he can do that, there's no reason why he can't win the tournament.
I just feel like he sort of has to get the right player matchups. While I like him against almost everybody, there are some players and some characters that I think he has trouble against more than others. So if he avoids those, then I think he is pretty much golden. I mean, I would expect him to do well. There's nothing he can do about that, right? That's sort of just luck of the brackets.
Right.
If that is what happens, then I really like his chances.
So, I mean, overall, you think he's going to do pretty well?
I expect him to do well.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's really, I don't know why, but I feel like Tokido, because of that, that factor, like I said, if he's kind of feeling it, if he's hot, I feel like he's either going to go really far in this tournament or he might even go 0-2 or 1-2 early on, because if he's just not feeling it, it might actually get him. So I don't know why I have this weird thought on that's kind of how I feel. He's either going to do really well or just really, really disappointed in himself or something like that. I don't know why. I don't see a middle ground for him.
Okay.
But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Again,
we'll see.
32 players. Yeah. All of them are ridiculous. In fact, I mean, even this happened last year when we were trying to predict how it went. Just to name any of these players to go 0-2 is just you feel stupid when you make a prediction this guy's going to go 0-2 and you're there's no.
Yeah, somebody will go winless at Capcom Cup.
8 people.
In fact, I was going to say 8 people will go winless at Capcom Cup. That's how the brackets work.
It's just ridiculous. It has to happen, but I can't even imagine. But you can tune in, watch, find out which of these players are going to go 0-2, which of these players are going to win the event. And that's going to, again, take place in San Francisco at the Sony PlayStation Experience, December 5th through 6th. If you're in the area, buy a ticket. Basically, once you get, there's a package that you can get for Capcom Cup that includes the entrance into Sony PlayStation Experience. You get some swag out of, like, some bags, swag bags and stuff like that. So it's very, very cool. If you're in town, if you're anywhere there during that weekend, definitely try to make it.
If you can't, it will be live streamed, of course. It'll be on twitch.tv/Capcom Fighters.
That's right. And all the other player analysis will be on the YouTube channel I mentioned, youtube.com/Capcom Fighters TV. Also follow them at Twitter on Capcom Fighters.
And if you like analysis and all the stuff that we've been talking about, the players, their histories, how we think they're going to do, in addition to fighting game news and community issues and all sorts of stuff, we talk about that on our channel, which is twitch.tv and youtube.com/UltraChenTV.
Yeah, we go over all sorts of things. We do heavy match analysis. We also have a lot of stuff there for beginners, for people trying to learn Street Fighter and such. So you can also follow us on Twitter at UltraChenTV.
All right, well, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time.